Hello, this is Brian Corcoran with ThingTech. I'm a co-founder and product manager. We appreciate the opportunity to submit a bid. This is the ThingTech RFP bid submission for the Albuquerque Water Authority. We'll take the next 20 minutes here to talk through our platform for automated vehicle location, vehicle inventory tracking, utilization tracking, worksite tracking, and driver behavior as well. The first topic that we'll cover is panning, zooming, street view, and other navigational features. The ThingTech platform is extremely flexible in terms of how we allow users to visualize and track any of the vehicles or other assets associated with the water authority. The main concept within the ThingTech visualization or mapping component is a concept that we call layers. Layers are advanced filters that allow users to drill down into the very, very targeted pieces of data that they wish to view, save those filters, and easily access them. So what you're seeing here is a user who may be creating a new filter for themselves. They've selected only vehicles where the mill status is on. You can also filter down by location. So for worksite tracking, if you wanted to find all of your vehicles or any asset by a location, it's very, very straightforward to do that. There's also a lot of flexibility in terms of how the map renders, what kind of iconography and colors y'all want to use. We're going to take a quick look at a default layer that's just called all vehicles. And we're going to explore some of the mapping functionality associated with it. You can see I've turned on the weather overlay so that we can easily see what environmental concerns or weather we may be encountering. We can view that in a full screen mode for emergency management purposes. In addition to the map, there's also a grid component that works in tandem with the map. There's complete flexibility in terms of which exact columns the user would like to select and view, how they want to sort the grid, how they want to group the grid based upon any of these data attributes. You can also sync the grid with the map. So if I were to show the map here and expanded that moving grouping, we would see only vehicles that were moving. In this case, I'm viewing vehicles that are stopped. So let's drill down into vehicle 8435 and take a look at its exact location. First, we'll turn on the satellite view to get a better idea of exactly where that vehicle is. We'll drop in the street view component so we can get even better context as to the exact location of this particular vehicle. If we wanted to search for a particular address or geofence within the system, we'd simply search the map. It's going to drill us down directly to that location. We can see all of the vehicles that are at that location at this time. Those are just some of the mapping components that users can take advantage of. Now let's jump into displaying the vehicle's history. We're going to start from the same visualization or mapping screen that we just explored. In this case, we're going to search vehicle 6628, and I'm going to pull up the mapping info box. What you'll notice here is that we're displaying user definable data within the info box. Instead of zooming to the asset this time, we'll drill down into the full details of this particular vehicle. This view gives us a 360-degree view of everything that we're managing and tracking associated with this vehicle. We're scrolling down here to explore all of the detailed fields associated with this vehicle, including all the diagnostic trouble codes, check engine light, all the emissions monitoring associated with it. The tabs at the top provide us the opportunity to explore any records that are related to this vehicle. You'll see messages, rules, and events. We collect messages from devices, we process them through rules, and then we create events in the system. Every single message and event that we generate within the system is available for users to explore in a time series fashion. So we can select last week, we can select a time frame, and explore all of those records. All of the same grouping and sorting functionality is available. You can easily download these records for further exploration out of the system. Now we're viewing messages. So this is the data that we're collecting directly from the devices. And it's going to provide location, timestamp, as well as other information associated with the device that's generating. Now let's explore the rules associated with this particular vehicle. We click on the Rules tab and we take a look at any rules that are associated with this vehicle. Rules can be assigned at a group level or an individual vehicle level. Uh, we've got a rule in this particular demonstration associated with devices being disconnected, diagnostic trouble codes, posted speed rules, etc. When we take a look at the posted speed rules, you can see some of the configuration associated with the rule. As an example, we'll only create a posted speed event if the vehicle is traveling more than 15 miles per hour over the speed limit for a certain duration or period of time. The rules are very, very configurable and allow us to really target the very specific and unique pieces of data that y'all want to focus on, be notified about. Now that we've touched on rules, let's explore rules in a little bit more detail and also talk about how users can receive notifications of any rules. Directly from the visualization screen, all users have the opportunity to access notification settings. Notification settings allow users to tailor to their specific wants and needs how they want to be notified about specific events happening in the system. They can set do not disturb. They can also determine which rules they want to be notified about via email versus SMS text. In addition to that, let's explore rules in a bit more detail. We've gone into setup and rules, and now we're going to create a specific rule that targets long idling. This is typically an administrative function where we're creating a rule, and we'll also set up specific notifications associated with this rule. So these notifications will be hard-coded on the rule itself. In this case, we've defined a long idle as idling longer than 20 minutes. We've defined that Andy Davies will receive mobile notifications, and now we're also defining that James, Ashley, and Andy will also receive email notifications. In addition, should you elect to deploy driver ID functionality, drivers and their supervisors and department administrators will also be notified by checking the boxes. We've defined a custom email subject line notification. We've assigned this rule to a specific vehicle, and we're also defining the geofence within which this rule will fire. For proper worksite management, creating and editing geofences is a crucial aspect of the system. Let's explore how we create them. We're going to start from the same visualization screen that we've been exploring. 90% of the functionality within the system takes place from this particular screen. We've selected the geofence tool, and we're drawing a geofence around a searched location. We're going to select the geofence and create new. We'll name the geofence. We'll call this Airport Road. We can assign any rules to this geofence at this time, and we'll save it. This geofence is now saved in the system, and we could take full advantage of it for all functionality, including rules, as well as using it for searching. So in this particular case, we've searched this geofence and come back with 7 records. Moving along, let's talk about routing features within the product. What we'll do is we'll explore a location or a job site. We'll search for that and then select an action called Find Closest Vehicle. We've returned vehicle 7496 and the path from point A to point B to navigate. From a user's perspective, we'll open the mobile application. We'll find that location, drill down into that location, select it, and select Navigate. This will give us a direct path from our current location to that job site. Once we arrive on the job site, the users can easily view the full details of that particular asset or location to determine what needs to be done when they arrive. All location, utilization, and maintenance vehicle data is available from the map as well as reporting displays within the product. Let's take a look first at the map displays, then reports. We'll search for vehicle 5841. Click on the icon and view track history. In this case, instead of viewing a relative time frame like a day ago or 3 hours ago, we'll search for a specific time in the past. We've searched and the product has come back with vehicle 5841's location history for that time period. I'm now going to explore this further and play back the route directly from the mapping screen. The orange dots that you see on the map are all messages displayed during that time frame. Any other icons are associated with events within the product. We can easily explore all messages and events to view the full details associated with those messages and events. For a reporting view of the same data, we'll run the message summary report specifically for vehicle 5841. We can see a map and summary data about this time period. We can modify the time period and also easily see that there was one engine cycle, max speed of 62 miles an hour, beginning and ending odometer, and any harsh driving events. All that data can be exported easily as well. For location history tracking, we'll explore two reports, a geofence report and the message summary report with additional filter options. We're now in the reporting interface and we'll run the geofence events report. Here you'll see a summary of all vehicles within geofences, a summary of the number of geofence events, and any duration associated with their stay within the geofence. If we modify the time frame, we can easily change this from 4 weeks to 1 week, rerun the report, and now view the same data for a different time period. By editing the report, and more specifically the reporting filters, we can run this report for specific vehicles, specific groups of vehicles, or all vehicles. Reporting is very flexible so that users can get exactly what they want for events, messages, vehicles, maintenance, and all reports within the system. We've now exported this report and can supply it to users outside of the system. Now, we'll take a look at the message summary report and additional filter options associated with it. What we're going to do is we're going to edit this report and go to reporting filters. We're viewing data associated with the last 3 days, but we'll add an additional filter that's based upon location. We can easily add known geofences within the system and determine whether we want to filter this inside the geofence or show all vehicles outside of a geofence. If we wanted to draw a custom geofence, we could easily do that as well from the same interface. This now supplies us with only the vehicles that are within the ThingTech office geofence and all summary data associated with it. Next, we'll schedule this report for delivery. This report will be scheduled to be delivered to James Dodelin every weekday at 8 a.m. Next, let's explore managing preventative and corrective maintenance and accessing work order history within the product. First, we'll access a layer from the map. This layer provides a list of all vehicles that are pending or past due for preventative maintenance on a particular job site. By drilling into the details, we can easily see that this vehicle is past due, when the last preventative maintenance was performed, when the next one is performed, and what needs to be performed. Now we're accessing the schedules and we can easily see that the 500-hour service is past due. We'll come back to the map and from here can easily create a work order or inspection that's required for this particular vehicle. We'll select work order, create the work order, and now can populate the work order form with the required information. In this particular case, we'll create a preventative maintenance work order by selecting the past due maintenance schedule. We'll also assign this to a user and execute the work order. Now let's explore how we can access this data from reporting. We'll run the pending or past due maintenance report where we're accessing the same information that we saw from the mapping screen. Next, we'll find the asset work order history. We can easily drill down to a single vehicle to determine how many completed work orders, get a detailed list, and export this data for users outside of the system. Next, let's talk about how administrators can access user account login history. We'll start from the mapping screen, but navigate back to Setup where we manage users. By accessing the grid of users, we'll easily see their last login date. This information can easily be exported to Excel or CSV and manipulated outside of the system. Power takeoffs and any other auxiliary input can be recorded by the device and reported to ThingTech. Let's explore how we display power takeoff data within the system. First, from the mapping screen, we'll search for, in this case, a police cruiser. This police cruiser has a device that's wired to their lights. By tracking this particular police cruiser, we'll take a look at power takeoff events over time and where they took place. We can easily see here that the lights were turned on and off at this particular location during a police stop. This could easily translate also to a work site where equipment may be utilized. Now we'll explore the police cruiser and their detailed messages. We can easily see when the lights were turned on, when the lights were turned off, group that data, and export that data as well. Now let's explore how we display this data from a reporting perspective. We'll run the PTO events report. Similar to other reports in ThingTech, a map is displayed with summary information that tells us how many times the PTO was cycled and the duration of the PTO. This information can easily be modified from a time frame perspective and exported to PDF for users outside of the system. Now let's talk about organizational hierarchy. This will allow us to control which users see which vehicles and which rules are associated with which vehicles. We'll go into setup and manage vehicle groups. ThingTech uses a very simple approach whereby vehicles belong to groups and users belong to those same groups. In this case, users define their own groups. We're exploring the Los Angeles group where there's 2 vehicles associated with it. Next, we'll go to manage user groups. Those same groups exist here. We'll select the Los Angeles group and we can see that Alejandro and Craig are part of this group. That means that Alejandro and Craig can see those vehicles. In addition, we also offer a wizard-based tool to automate the assignment of users to vehicles and rules to vehicles. In this case, we'll create a group called construction, and we're going to make this criteria-based. We'll define the criteria by selecting vehicle, department, which is a field on vehicle, and defining the value of construction. So any vehicles where department equals construction will be added to this group. So any user in the cargo vans or environmental crimes will be able to view this as well as these additional users that we've identified. This is a very easy, simple way to define the policies up front to automate the assignment of users to groups. In this case, we're defining rules in the same fashion. We'll select the excessive idling only for police cruisers, define the criteria for any vehicles that are in the police department, and assign that rule. Now let's take a look at the ThingTech mobile application. We'll explore 2 use cases that are most common. The first is search. The second is visualizing filters. On the search use case, we're going to initiate search, scroll down to the vehicle field that we want to search on. In this case, mill status contains on. Now we've got a list of all vehicles where the check engine light is on. We'll drill down into the details of this vehicle, scroll down to find what trouble codes may be active on this particular vehicle. From here, we can easily create a work order to resolve the situation. Second use case is taking advantage of the predefined filters that were created on the web console. In this case, we've accessed the layer called check engine light on. This brings back all of the vehicles that are part of that filter, and we'll drill down into the details. We can also access mapping layers, zoom to fit, as well as navigate. We'll navigate to this particular asset and then go back into the application. From here, we can view the full details of the asset to determine exactly what needs to take place when we arrive on site. In addition to vehicle tracking, ThingTech also associates driver information with all vehicles. Let's explore how that happens within the system. We'll add a layer called all vehicles, and we'll easily see that all driver names are associated with all vehicles. To find Jose, we could simply group by his name to easily find him. Drill down into the vehicle, and we can also easily see that Jose is listed as the driver. In addition, any data that we collect from that device or vehicle is stamped with Jose's name, so that we always know over time every message that Jose generated and any event that Jose generated. We can also see this quite clearly in the reporting components. Let's take a look at some driver behavior reports. In this case, we'll view the harsh driving report by driver. We can easily modify the time frame to view only the harsh driving events over the last few days. Grouped by vehicle, now we'll search for Jose to quickly and easily determine that he's had 16 harsh driving events over this time period. We'll export this report and send it to Jose. In the event that a device has been tampered with or disconnected, users can easily receive a notification in real time about the event. In addition, users can also explore this data directly from the user interface. ThingTech tracks a field called device status. Device status can either be connected or disconnected. When a device is disconnected, users can easily explore that and find that within the application, either from the map or by drilling down to the vehicle detail. In addition, users can access a standard report named Device Disconnected. We'll run that report here to take a look. Here's an assessment of my entire fleet by which devices are connected and which devices are disconnected. In addition to automatically assigning drivers to vehicles, ThingTech supplies a full suite of driver behavior reports. They include idle reports, posted speed reports, instances of harsh driving, and long stops. We'll take a look at the harsh driving report. For harsh driving, ThingTech measures harsh driving based upon G-force. We also provide very flexible tools to allow users to define the exact thresholds of G-force that they define as harsh driving, which may be different on a vehicle by vehicle or vehicle class by vehicle class basis. Users have complete control over how they determine harsh driving events are created within the system and also can be notified about them. In this case, we're also looking at posted speed events. In a similar fashion, posted speed events are very configurable, such that users can define the thresholds in either a percentage over the posted speed limit or in a defined threshold, meaning miles per hour over the posted speed limit, as well as setting a duration. Furthermore, ThingTech also provides reporting tools so that users can filter out certain events based upon road type, time of day, and other factors as well. The end result is a full 360-degree view of your drivers and their behavior, who's being safe and who is not.